Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So today we're going to be answering the question that's on everybody's minds. Should you sell ashtrays on Amazon? Is it a smash hit product or is it not? So let me show you the niche. Very simple. The actual keyword is ashtray with lid, smell proof. Right. So I'm assuming obviously if you leave an ashtray uncovered in a room or even outside, it can start to smell. All right. These ones come with lids, therefore they're supposedly smell proof. It's quite an interesting niche, certainly random. I mean, I'm not a smoker, so it's not something I would buy, but obviously there's a lot of smokers out there and ashtrays sell, so who knows, if you want to be the one to sell them, then this niche could be for you. So as always, we're going to look at the smash hit product radar to analyze this niche and figure out whether it's a good idea or not. So let's just quickly remind ourselves of the 4 elements. Okay, number 1, high demand. Right, we want people to be selling this stuff already. We want evidence it's working. Low competition, meaning not too fierce competition, room for you to launch your product, still get it seen, still get it to page 1 and get a slice of the pie. All right. Element number 3, low hassle. In other words, we don't want it to be a nightmare to import, a nightmare to ship to customers. We don't want to get a million returns. And then finally, we want there to be a gap in the marketplace. In other words, some way we can improve the product, make it better than what's already there. And if you find a product that meets these criteria, it's definitely a smash hit product, and I call this smash hit product radar. It's how you scan Amazon for hot opportunities. So let's have a look at the niche. Today I'm going to be using AMZ Scout Chrome extension to do my product research and analysis. In fact, it doesn't matter what software you use, just whatever one you like, buy it. They're all the same. Helium 10, AMZ Scout, Jungle Scout, AMZ Owl, Zon Base. Like, there's so many, just pick one, right? All we need to know is what's the revenue and what are the levels of reviews. So that's the main thing. So first we're going to start with levels of demand. Well, as you can see, there's lots of demand in this niche. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sellers who are doing at least 3K a month in sales, which is very, very healthy. Like, usually I want 3 or more sellers doing 3K a month, but now we have 6. So that's very good. Lots of people are buying these. Lots of sellers are making decent profit with these and looks promising. So for demand, remember the scoring system, we score out of 20. I'm going to give it, I mean, it's high, it's more than 3 sellers, but it's not the highest I've ever seen. I'm going to give it a 16 out of 20. What about competition? Well, competition, we want to look at reviews. We want to see really how established the sellers in the marketplace are. Or in other words, how long have these sellers been selling the product? Like, the more reviews they have, the longer they've been selling, usually. How hard is it going to be to compete up against them and get your product seen and chosen? And obviously customers buy products that have good reviews, right? So the more reviews they have, the more likely it is they'll choose that product. So let's sort by reviews and have a look. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3 sellers with more than 500 reviews. I usually want 5 or less sellers with 500 reviews or more. So 5 or less established sellers. And there's 3. So actually the competition is low. And another thing I like to look out for is what I call beacon products. In other words, products where there's very, very, very low numbers of reviews and great revenue. And we have one right here. This seller only has 3 reviews. And they're doing 5K a month, which is amazing. If they're just doing a 20% profit margin, they're making $1,000 a month in sales, in profit, sorry, which is amazing, right? With 3 reviews, they probably launched this very recently, unless they just haven't, been really unlucky and haven't got any reviews yet. But let's have a look. When did they launch? Okay, 8th of January 2021, so it's not that recent. I don't know why they have so little reviews. But they're new, they launched this year and they're doing 5K a month. I mean, if you made 5k a month in sales within 6 months, I think I'd be happy with that, right? That's awesome. So, and remember, this product might sell for like another 10 years, you know, so it's a good earner. All right. So yeah, the competition's good. It's low. There's a Beacon product, which is always, in fact, there's several Beacon products with low reviews and decent revenue. So I think the competition's a good level in this niche. You could definitely compete. You could definitely sell your product in here. Be, say, the 7th seller making at least 3k a month. There's room. So I'm going to give it a 17 out of 20 for competition. Because it is strong. It's not the strongest I've seen, but it's stronger than most niches. All right, what about low hassle? Let's take a look at the product, take a look at the weight, see how heavy it is. Now, when we're doing this, remember, every design is slightly different. There will always be a slightly different size, slightly different weight. But we just want to guess at this point. You'll know more when you've contacted suppliers, seen what designs you can actually source, and seen the weight and the shipping costs for those, right? But for now, we're just going to have a quick look at what's available to get an idea of what's selling and how heavy it is, right? So this is like a classic example of the product, an ashtray with a lid. I'd say this is maybe an average of the type of product you could offer. Let's have a look at the size and weight. Okay, it's just 100 grams, extremely light. Like, I usually want a kilogram or less. It's 100 grams, so very light. And it's 10 by 10 by 5 centimeters, which is what, this big by this big by this big or something like that. Extremely small. So this is an ideal private label product, right? So tiny. I mean, this one is ceramic, I believe. Yeah, ceramic. So that could make it problematic because ceramics can break. They can crack. Even just a little chip would be enough to make it not really sellable. So if I were you, maybe avoid the ceramic design, but there's plenty of others. There's metal designs. There's probably, yeah, I'd imagine some other materials you can use as well. So bear that in mind, but, you know, if you can either source ceramics safely or get a good material that's not ceramic, silicone, for example, could be good, then, yeah, I think it's relatively low hassle. So in terms of a score, I think it might be good. I'm going to give it 17 as well for low hassle because, yeah, it definitely looks importable, sellable, storable. You know, it's not crazy for any of those things. What about gap in the marketplace? Now, this is always an interesting one. It's always a bit of a grey area. What I like to do is look at the products that are selling really well and see what's wrong with them, basically, so we can improve on it. So the #1 bestseller is this one here, ashtray with lid, ceramic ashtray, windproof, blah blah blah. This is a really nice design. I think that's probably the reason it's selling well, because it's very stylish. It's quite sort of neutral. We could probably go in like any room, you know. It goes with modern looking interior design, it goes with probably more classic, you know, it fits, probably fits everywhere. Oh, and there's lots of colours too. That always helps to have variations, so you can see why it's selling well. But what's wrong with it? There's got to be something wrong with it. Alright, let's have a look. Colours not as shown. Okay. So this is a expectation versus reality challenge. This is like when you buy something from wish.com. You see the photos and then it arrives, right? And that's what these customers have encountered here. The colours are different to what's shown. So, I mean, you could improve on that by just selling something that the colours represent what they actually look like. But I don't know if that's necessarily a gap. That's more of a listing problem for this seller more than a gap. But you could do better than that. Anyway, let's have a look. Pointless. Yet another pointless ashtray. The lid doesn't protect it from the rain. Fills up and floods all over my balcony. Okay, interesting. So if you got one that did have an airtight or a watertight lid, then you would beat this one for this customer. Now what we want to do is see if there's lots of customers who have the same issue, because it could just be one customer. This guy Luke, he might be the only one who's annoyed about that. Right? We want to find a pattern and then beat the pattern, and then we'll have a reason to offer our product to the marketplace. Right? So maybe if we look at the reviews, maybe we can search them, and maybe if we type rain, wish it had a mechanism to block rainwater from pouring in. Let's change the 5-star to all stars. So Luke's mentioned the rain. This person's mentioned the rain. This person. Okay, so is that three mentions of the rain? Let's have a look if people have mentioned the lid, just in general. Luke obviously mentioned the lid. This person's mentioned the lid because of the rain. This person likes the lid because it stops the room smelling of cigarettes. One lid was chipped, right, because it's ceramic, like I said. Can be problematic. The lid is a nice touch because it, let's face it, used cigarette butts are not pretty. Right, so people aren't too annoyed about the lid. So that might not be a big pain point. Let's have a look maybe at some of the 2-star reviews, or 3-star reviews, or 4-star. Let's have a look. See if we can search. Here we go. Some of these are in Spanish, which is not too helpful. Maybe try 3-star. Okay, this person's annoyed about the color again. So maybe they wanted a white one. So you could offer a white one to the marketplace. If this customer wants a white one, possibly more customers will as well. And they're obviously annoyed about the color. See if we can translate this. Not white, but greenish. Another customer who wants a white one. It's a good sign, right? There's 2 already. I have black and a white or light blue. The black one is smooth. The light blue one, though, is a bit rough. Interesting. Yeah, so there's some patterns here. Maybe we can search for white and just see if there's any more customers who want a white one. Let's do all stars. Yeah, it's not too much of a theme from what I can see. But there's some areas of improvement for sure. And one thing I noticed is that nobody's bundling in this niche. No one's selling an ashtray set with some other stuff that comes with it. And that's always an opportunity, right? If nobody's bundling and you're the first one to bundle, then it's great. I mean, even if loads of people are bundling, you offer a different bundle, then that can be great too, right? Because you're still different. And there's plenty of other designs you could launch that probably haven't been launched yet. In fact, another thing you can do is look over at America for the same keyword, and you can see what is on offer over there. In fact, if I type in a random made up American postcode, we'll get better results. And what you can do is see if there's any designs that are on offer in America that are selling really well that aren't being offered in the UK, and you can just grab the same design and launch it in the UK, right? As long as it's obviously not violating any intellectual property, as long as it's a private label product, then it's fine. Okay, so look, it looks like somebody's already had this idea, because I think this is basically the best-selling product in the UK right now, and I don't think, unless I'm wrong, yeah, it's not, as far as I can see, it's not the same brand. So this is proof of this working, right, in practice. This seller here has launched, let me check, is it, yeah, so this one's called Airsma, or, yeah, Airsma, right, and it's the same design as the best-selling product in America, but it's a different brand. So what they've done is they've looked at what's selling well in America, launched the same thing in the UK under their own private label, and it's crushing it, right? So this works. So you can see if there's any other designs where you could basically have that same strategy, right, and just launch the same thing. Cool. All right, so there's definitely some opportunity with gap in the market. So Yeah, and not a really obvious massive issue with the best selling products. Sometimes like there's a real design flaw in the best selling products, and then it's obvious how to fix it, you know. But these are fit for their purpose. They just have a few little issues maybe you could fix. I think offering a new design is probably going to be the strongest way to win in this niche. So it's good, it's not amazing, there is a gap. I'm going to give it a 16 out of 20. And then the final criteria for analysing a smash hit product is the hunch. Everybody's got a different hunch. My hunch will be different to yours. It's down to personal preference. It's down to how much you want to be charging for your products, what profit margin you want, what kind of products you like selling. You know, it's very subjective, but it's very important. It's almost a little bit like a gut feeling mixed in with a little bit of data. So what is my hunch for this niche? Well, the demand's good, the competition's relatively low. It's relatively low hassle unless you get a ceramic one, which could be problematic. One thing I see about it, which I'm not too happy about, is the price point. Now, it's high enough, like, you know, I've made profit with products that sell for £5.99. So, you know, don't underestimate how good it is to sell cheap products. They sell very quick, which is nice. But the more you can charge, the easier it is to make profit, especially after advertising, after, you know, all the fees you have to deal with as an Amazon seller. So the price is not ideal. Right? I would love if it was like a £30 price point, which is great. Can't always get that, and you won't always get that, but when you can, it is amazing. So that's one thing in my hunch. The price point, good, but not quite as good as I'd like. The fact that you might not be able to find a really popular design that isn't ceramic is another thing that kind of makes me think could be problematic. But overall, the niche is good, I think. You know, there's plenty of opportunity. And if you can sort out the logistical issues with ceramics and other stuff, I think it's pretty solid. So for hunch, yeah, I think I'm going to go with 15 out of 20. I think that's fair. So let's do some quick maths and figure out what this adds up to, because it's going to be extremely off if I try and do it in my head. Plus 17 plus 16 plus 15 equals grand total of 81 out of 100. That's a pretty solid product. In fact, that's one of the highest ones, I believe, that we've rated. Who knew? Apparently you should be selling ashtrays on Amazon. Right, hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed it, hit subscribe. And if you want some help, maybe you're struggling to find these kind of products and you don't quite get the radar yet, you don't understand how to analyze niches yet, there's some links in the description which would really, really help you out. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you very, very soon.